Tonight, we will celebrate the initiation of our newest class of students here in Anchorage, who will for the first time don the white coat that you see up here on the stage, symbolizing their pledge of excellence to the profession and to our program. And you'll do that in front of your loved ones, in front of your faculty, in front of those who you will serve as healthcare professionals. Before we begin, I need to take an opportunity to recognize a few special audience members. They are excited to share in tonight's celebration and have continued and contributed significant time and resources to the College of Pharmacy, for which we are incredibly grateful. So when I read your name, please rise and remain standing until every name has been read. Please hold your applause until all have been acknowledged. Terry Hall Clouda of Bernie's Pharmacy and the Clouda Foundation. Dr. Brittany Keener, President of the Alaska Pharmacist Association. Dr. Brandy Signamartin, she's an assistant lecturer and executive director of the Alaska Pharmacist Association with us as faculty. We also have with us one of our sponsors from Albertsons Company, Aaron Camp. We'd also like to wish a thank you to Idaho State Pharmacy Association and Walgreens and Albertsons Companies for their unwavering and long-standing support for the White Coat Ceremony. Thank you to each of you, and thank you for being here tonight. Now, will all of the College of Pharmacy faculty and staff stand? There's a number of them. There they are. And there's one seated there. You got to, Mara, your staff too. Yep, there you go. We'll applause as with her exit. That's right. She'll be back. Well, I wanted to say about these faculty members and staff. These are individuals who possess a true passion for pharmacy, for teaching, and a genuine love for rearing new pharmacists and future pharmacists to achieve their dreams and to serve the patients of Alaska. On behalf of Idaho State University and the College of Pharmacy, I want to thank you personally. Now, I told these students, you guys remember a couple of days ago when I had all the faculty stand and I said, what did I say to? I said, if you remember one thing about these faculty that I'm telling you about them, I said, listen to them. Yeah. I'll say that again, listen to them, and also model after them. They are pharmacists extraordinaire. They epitomize what it means to be a pharmacist. And they're here to not only create formative activities for you, but also for you to model after. So we're really glad to have them here tonight. Okay, at this time, I'd like to introduce our first speaker, Dr. Brittany Keener. Dr. Keener is currently transitioning into the role of ambulatory pharmacy manager at the Alaska Native Medical Center. As a commissioned officer in the United States Public Health Service, she has worked at ANMC in various positions since 2007, including outpatient pharmacist, MediSet pharmacist, and internal medicine specialty clinic pharmacist and manager. Dr. Keener is the current president of the Alaska Pharmacist Association, and has been a member of AKPHA since 2009. Within the association, she has served as the annual convention planning committee chair and on the board of directors, the awards committee chair, and co-treasurer. Please welcome Dr. Keener.
Thank you, everyone. Good evening and welcome to your White Coat Ceremony. I'm excited to be here as you embark on this once-in-a-lifetime journey. As president of AKPHA, I want to congratulate you on your recent educational accomplishments and most notably your acceptance into the UAA ISU Doctor of Pharmacy program. The association has a long-standing relationship with the university, and we greatly value our student members. Your contributions and energy are vital to the success of the association, and I'm thrilled to watch you all grow in the upcoming years. It's my honor to welcome you to the profession of pharmacy. This evening brings back a lot of fond memories from when I was in pharmacy school. I attended my white coat ceremony 20 years ago. I'm class of 2007, so I was literally in your seat 20 years ago. And it may be really cliche, but it goes by incredibly fast. Cherish the friendships you make with each other, the bonds that you create. These can evolve into lifelong relationships. You will spend a lot of time together studying, clarifying assignments, commiserating, supporting when times are difficult, and also celebrating successes. And all of this is going to be while you're beside each other, watching each other learn and grow. As you travel through this journey, let AKPHA be a resource for you. Engage with us, find a mentor, we'll help you to advocate advancing the pharmacy practice. You can network, participate with various committees, attend continuing education and training sessions, and support community engagement activities. And as you engage, you'll find yourself improving your time management, organizational, leadership, and communication skills, while also working on connections with potential employers for the future. In addition, we also offer a student scholarship program with our annual convention each year, so I highly encourage each and every one of you to apply. Our executive director, Dr. Brandy Signa-Martin, has a dual role with AKPHA and the university, and this opens the door for internships, rotations, and other learning opportunities such as association management, planning events, grant applications and management, communication with community partners and legislators, and working with our board of directors. My involvement with AKPHA has enlightened me to the importance that we, as a very small association, have to influence the practice of pharmacy. Our partnerships with the university and the Alaska Board of Pharmacy have led to several recent bills within the state. In 2022, House Bill 145 included several technical fixes, which clearly defined the pharmacist's scope of practice, including the independent prescribing of vaccines and opioid reversal agents, management of chronic disease, and ordering of laboratory tests. Earlier this year, House Bill 112 and Senate Bill 94 increased the access to epinephrine auto-injectors by allowing pharmacists to independently prescribe and dispense these after completing a training program. AKPHA exists to support our members and to make a difference. It's our mission to preserve, promote, and lead the profession of pharmacy, and our vision is to be the resource for and the voice of patient-focused care in Alaska. Over the next few years, I hope that you find your passion. I challenge you to maintain a growth mindset, get comfortable being uncomfortable, expect the unexpected, and remain flexible. And most importantly, believe in yourself and prioritize self-care. I look forward to getting to know each and every one of you and working with you as members of the association. And again, congratulations and welcome to the profession.
Thank you, Dr. Keener. And now I'd like to welcome our keynote speaker tonight, Dr. Brandy Signa-Martin. Dr. Signa-Martin is the Executive Director of the Alaska Pharmacist Association and a faculty member with the UAA ISU Doctor of Pharmacy program. She earned her Doctor of Pharmacy from Washington State College of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences and completed an executive fellowship with the Washington State Pharmacist Association. Dr. Signa-Martin is a passionate advocate for advancement of pharmacy practice and serves on many regional and national advisory boards, and we are pleased to have her not only on our faculty and in our state to address us tonight. Dr. Signa-Martin.
Thank you so much, and I want to thank Dr. Keener not only for her words of wisdom that she shared with all of us, but for her tremendous leadership in the association that has helped us accomplish so many things. And it is an honor and privilege for me to be here with you tonight on such an important occasion. So let me start also by welcoming the class of 2027 to the profession of pharmacy. This ceremony is a rite of passage that symbolizes your transition from pharmacy student to student pharmacist. And this may seem like a subtle transposition of words, but I assure you, it comes with significant changes. Simply put, when you don your white coats today, it conveys a powerful message to the public: authority, trust, integrity. With this comes great responsibility, and that responsibility is both earned and learned. So my goal today is to challenge you to think broadly about your role as you develop as a member of the pharmacy profession, but also for your patients. Everything is changing. And let me find the magic remote. Here we go. Any discussion about the future starts with the past. Horatio Jackson was an American physician and an automobile pioneer. In 1902, on a $50 bet, he and driving partner Sewell Crocker became the first people to drive across the contiguous United States. Taking wagon trails and roads that parallel the railroad line, they traveled the entire United States, contiguous of course, not Alaska, from San Francisco to New York, and they did it in 63 days with no gas stations, no repair shops, and no AAA. When Dr. Jackson would roll into a town and the people laid their eyes for the first time on an automobile, they were often perplexed, interested, and at times fearful. They didn't yet understand automobiles or know where they would be taking us in the future. But the new had arrived and everything was going to change. In a location somewhere near current-day Caldwell, Idaho, a husband and wife were cruising through town on their horse-drawn carriage when the wife sees a cloud of dust and yells for her husband to stop the wagon. The husband, upon seeing the cloud of dust, immediately unhitches the horses, shoos them away for their own safety, and he proceeds to crawl underneath the wagon for cover. Horatio notices the frightened couple and stops to ask, "Mister, are you okay?" He responds, "What the heck? I thought the railroad jumped the tracks." "Nope," says Dr. Jackson, "we're not a train. Is this the right way to Raleigh?" What is so matter of fact for some is scary for others. This is an old pillbox from the 1950s. Do you notice anything missing? There's no drug name on here because labels were not routine or even required on medications before 1975. So change is guaranteed to happen. But if you aren't part of the change, progress may pass you by. Take, for example, the blacksmith. In the 19th century, mothers used to prod their children to become blacksmiths. Horses will always need shoes, was the conventional wisdom. This view didn't take into account the future progress in trains, planes, and automobiles of the Industrial Revolution. Now, I don't intend to scare you about thinking about the future. In fact, I have great news. I want you to know that the future of I can tell you what the future of pharmacy will look like empirically. Pharmacy will become whatever people like us, you and me, imagine. And its advancement will reflect the energy with which we engage. Together, we must commit to advancing the future vision of pharmacy practice. You are all now valued members of the Alaska Pharmacists Association. The association has united the voice of pharmacists, student pharmacists, and pharmacy technicians throughout the state to meet the needs of our communities and practice at the top of our training. As an association, we have worked with the Board of Pharmacy and state legislature to ensure that pharmacists have authority to some of the things that Dr. Keener was talking about, independently prescribe and administer all vaccines, as well as opioid reversal agents, engage in collaborative practice agreements, and provide direct patient care, as well as receive reimbursement for patient care services through the same channels as other healthcare providers. And you'll be learning more about that in Healthcare 1 this semester with me. We continue to work vigorously on optimizing pharmacists' scope of practice and to protect Alaskan patients and pharmacies from the unregulated, unethical practices of pharmacy benefits managers that drive up the cost of prescription drugs and create barriers to access. In 2005, the Joint Commission of Pharmacy Practitioners, which is a council comprised of 11 national pharmacy associations, set a vision for the future of pharmacy practice. It reads, "Pharmacists will be the healthcare professionals responsible for providing patient care that ensures optimal medication therapy outcomes." For clarity, I'll repeat. Pharmacists will be the healthcare professionals responsible for providing patient care that ensures optimal medication therapy outcomes. That's you all. Together, we must commit to advancing this vision for the future of pharmacy. Without such a commitment, advancement simply will not occur. Shortly after becoming president, John F. Kennedy challenged the nation to put a man on the moon and return him safely to Earth. And while you all know how the story ends, you may not know the story of when President Kennedy toured a NASA facility for the first time in 1961. The president reportedly met a man mopping the floor in the hallway. The president stopped to chat with him, shake his hand, and asked what he did at NASA. The janitor proudly responded, "Sir, I am helping to put a man on the moon." This story illustrates the idea that everyone at NASA, regardless of position, was contributing in their own way toward the ultimate vision of the organization. And the same must be true with pharmacy. We must accept the responsibility for change. There's a saying that there's two primary choices in life. One, to accept conditions as they exist, or two, to accept the responsibility for changing them. The conditions as they exist are that of an approaching hurricane. Healthcare costs are skyrocketing. Millions of patients remain uninsured. Access to healthcare remains difficult. Not to mention, the number of US medical students entering primary care has dropped by more than 50% over the past decade. And we are facing a projected physician shortage of between 37,000 and 124,000 over the next decade. We are in the midst of a nationwide opioid epidemic, and we are still finding a new normal following one of the worst pandemics our nation and the world has ever seen. The healthcare system will be forced to change, and the profession of pharmacy will be forced to change. We, as a profession, must accept the responsibility for such change, and we must lead that change. You may be asking, what role can pharmacy play? Well, one of our biggest assets is accessibility. 95% of all Americans live within 5 miles of a pharmacy, and we're open nights and weekends. You've already seen the power of our accessibility in action. 2/3 of all COVID vaccines have been administered in a pharmacy. And as of today, 307.4 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines have been administered and reported by federal retail pharmacy program participants. This includes 8 million doses administered on site at long-term care facilities by pharmacy staff members in the early days of the COVID-19 vaccination program. 1 in 4 adults have received an additional type of vaccine in a pharmacy. Pharmacies have also played a major role in COVID testing, with more than 45 million Americans getting tested at a pharmacy. But vaccines and COVID-19 are just the tip of the iceberg. Pharmacists today receive more training in medication therapies than any other health profession. We are the medication experts on the patient's healthcare team. Think about the possibilities when we combine our medication expertise with our accessibility to patients in the community. Let me give you just one minor example. In some states, patients with a minor ailment, such as a urinary tract infection, strep throat, or even shingles can walk into a pharmacy at any hour without an appointment and receive care from a pharmacist. If the patient has a clinical presentation consistent with an ailment the pharmacist is authorized to treat, the pharmacist can provide the care. This could include providing a rapid on-site point-of-care test and or following an assessment protocol. The pharmacist can use their clinical judgment to independently prescribe the appropriate treatment in the pharmacy right there on the spot. Imagine the patient care benefits. Research has shown the test and treat model improves access to care. 40% of point-of-care tests are performed at the pharmacy after regular physician hours. 35% of patients don't even have a primary care physician. The care improves too, because pharmacists are known to follow guidelines and best practices. But take this model and expand on it. The basic concept of a patient assessment with objective tests and guide decision-making and guideline-driven initiation or modification of medication regimens by specially trained pharmacists, that's going to be you all. That's a recipe for improving health outcomes for a whole host of conditions, both acute and chronic. You may be wondering what a model like this, how a care model like this would be possible. It's not a model most people envision pharmacists participating in. It all starts with imagination and innovation from a handful of pharmacy leaders and state laws that empower pharmacists to sustainably provide care. So let's just take a moment and imagine the possibilities for your future pharmacy practice. Imagine practicing pharmacy in Alaska, where pharmacists may be embedded in a family physician's office. Imagine practicing pharmacy in Alaska, where pharmacists closely monitor drug therapy in the intensive care unit and adjust medications. Imagine practicing pharmacy in Alaska when pharmacists can administer any medications. Imagine practicing pharmacy with a collaborative practice agreement. Imagine practicing in Alaska when pharmacists can independently order laboratory tests and have prescriptive authority. It turns out many of these are contemporary practices you will experience as part of your training as student pharmacists. But we still have much work to do to meet the needs of our patients, demands of the changing healthcare landscape, and fully realize our potential as healthcare providers. So, how will you practice? How will you all, over the next 4 years and throughout your careers, embrace your professional identity? How will you work to advance pharmacy practice in the great state of Alaska for your patients and our community? You will all have an unprecedented opportunity to lead pharmacy practice change for the betterment of patient care and public health. And you must seize this opportunity each and every time that you don your white coat. Given the challenges and opportunities facing pharmacy today, I will leave you with a challenge. Don't just study pharmacy, engage in our profession. Let's work together to change, improve, and lead the practice of pharmacy for the patients we serve in Alaska. Will you join me? Thank you.
Thank you to the Yupik dancers. Now we'd like to welcome to the stage Dr. Megan Penner, who is faculty with the UAA ISU Doctor of Pharmacy student program.
I used to be a coder, but I think I put the coat on the wrong person last year. So I've been promoted to reader of the names. So first-year student pharmacists, this ceremony provides a mechanism by which values that are key to our profession can be openly articulated and carefully considered in the company of your peers, your parents and families, as well as your College of Pharmacy faculty and your staff. Tonight, you will take the first step into the profession of pharmacy. You will don the white coat as a symbol of that step and recite the pharmacist code of ethics. You'll be expected to follow that code for your time here with us as a student pharmacist, and more importantly, for the rest of your professional life. It's important to realize that once you become a pharmacist, you remain a member of this profession. Now is the time you've all been waiting for, the presentation of your white coat. Audience members, I hope you have your cameras ready. Although you'll have lots of pictures over the next 4 years of your loved one in a white coat. The student pharmacist will be coated by our Department of Pharmacy Practice and Administrative Sciences faculty, Dr. Lampasoni and Dr. Signa Martin. So if both of you could come up here on stage to join us. Lampasoni, Dr. Signa Martin. Student pharmacists, each row should move towards the stage as directed. When your name is called, please proceed to the stage, and you'll just stand front and center, and then turn and face the audience at that time, and our faculty members will help to put your coat on. After you're coated, you can exit the stage, but you'll have a couple seconds here to get some good pictures first. And then remain at the front of the room to recite the pharmacist code of ethics once all the students have been coated. Those of you who are coding a student are ready to roll. So I'm going to name the students one at a time, come up here on stage, and then kind of stay over here to recite the code of ethics. So our first student who's going to be coming up to put their white coat on, this is alphabetical order, is Samantha Buck. Our next student is Caitlin Gray. Next, we have Tracy Panancillo. Next, we have Elsa Papaniko. Boyoung Park. Charmaine Tapanan. Amon Tilley. John Turknett. And Megan Musselman. You all look the part. I think you're ready for Monday. I'm now going to invite to the stage our 2023 to 2024 Student Senate President, Ethan, and our PPSA President, Catherine, to share in leading the recitation of the Pharmacist Code of Ethics. Ethan and Catherine, if you could both join me on stage to lead this, and I'll move out of your way.
Class of 2027, please pull the card from the pocket of your white coat with the Pharmacist Code of Ethics printed on one side. Audience members, you may follow along as the Code of Ethics is printed on the back of your program. Before we begin, I will read the preamble to the Pharmacist Code of Ethics aloud. Pharmacists are health professionals who assist individuals in making the best use of medications. This code, prepared and supported by pharmacists, is intended to state publicly the principles that form the fundamental basis of the roles and responsibilities of pharmacists. These principles, based on moral obligations and virtues, are established to guide pharmacists in relationships with patients, health professionals, and society.
Class of 2027, please recite the Code of Ethics with us. We will recite only the 8 main headings at this time, but please be certain to read and always abide by the full Code of Ethics from this point forward. 1. A pharmacist respects the covenantal relationship between the patient and pharmacist. 2. A pharmacist promotes the good of every patient in a caring, compassionate, and confidential manner. 3. A pharmacist respects the autonomy and dignity of each patient. 4. A pharmacist acts with honesty and integrity in professional relationships. 5. A pharmacist maintains professional competence. 6. A pharmacist respects the values and abilities of colleagues and other health professionals. 7. A pharmacist serves individual, community, and societal needs. 8. A pharmacist seeks justice in the distribution of health resources.
Thank you, Class of 2027. I now welcome back to the podium Dr. Penner.
Thank you very much, our Senate and PPSA presidents. First-year pharmacy students, congratulations to you. Let me be the first to welcome you to the profession of pharmacy and acknowledge the very important role upon which you have just pledged and will now embark. The Pharmacist Code of Ethics is on display in each campus's student lounge as a reminder of the important pledge you've just taken. I now turn the time to Dr. Wadsworth for closing remarks. Student pharmacists, please remain standing for a couple more minutes. Dr. Wadsworth.
There they are. Thank you, Dr. Penner. And student pharmacists, let me be the second to congratulate you. Congratulations for all the hard work that has brought you to this point. I have seen and known many of you these last several years and watched you develop, and it's an honor to be with you here tonight. Before we close, I'd like to invite Terry Hall, who is the president of the Clouda Foundation and owner of Bernie's Pharmacies, to the stage for a special announcement.
Good evening, everyone, family and friends of these 9 wonderful future pharmacists. Well, you are now a student pharmacist, so congratulations. Let me be the third to congratulate you. The Clouda Foundation is an organization that I founded after my late husband, Bernie Clouda. He was the founder of Bernie's Pharmacy here in Anchorage. Our business is celebrating its 43rd year this year, and we are the only independent pharmacy that is left in Anchorage, which says a lot. What I would like to say is that we were always precepting students from other universities all around the lower 48, and that was until we had our very own Doctor of Pharmacy program here. I'm so proud of the fact that we have that available for our students from Alaska or wherever they want to come from to come to our university and become a pharmacist. With that, we have a fundraiser every year. It's a golf tournament. It's called the Clouda Classic. We hold it in July, and if any of you are golfers out there, I expect to see you next July. And we raise money for scholarships. It wouldn't be right to go through all of this hard work without giving a gift to each one of these students. And I'm pleased to present a $1,000 scholarship to each of these 9 students on our stage. So congratulations. Here's the check. Congratulations. Pardon? I can shake their hand?
Oh, yes.
Oh, I can shake their hand, you said, yeah. And do I give you the check? Yeah, you will.
I want you to note this has been an ongoing donation from and support from the Clouda Foundation, and this constitutes over $50,000 given in scholarships to the students here in Alaska. Thank you so much, Terry.
And don't forget independent pharmacy.
That's
I know
right.
the Albertsons guys out there.
That's right. Okay, to members of the class of 2027, as we close, after such good news, look at the smile on those faces. That's bigger than the smile than the coat brought. Okay, so after we close tonight, I want you to contemplate the words of professionalism, what they mean, and what you have just taken on as an oath. Remember that you have taken this pledge not in private, but in public, in front of all of us, in the presence of your family and friends, and in presence of the faculty members and each other. The trust the white coat represents, like Dr. Signa Martin said, is learned and it is earned. Now is the time. I'm brought to remembrance something that Brutus said on the eve of battle from the quoted, or from the renowned Shakespeare's play Julius Caesar. He said, "There is a tide in the affairs of men, which, taken at the flood, leads on to fortune. Omitted, all the voyage of their life is bound in shallows and in miseries. On such a full sea are we now afloat, and we must take the current when it serves, or lose our ventures." And today feels as if you are on such a full sea, and that the tide is in, and it's in your favor. You've brought yourself here, and now it's up to you to put your boats out and venture. Recognize this moment. Seize the opportunity that you have given yourself. Learn and grow and become the professional that society needs you to be. Congratulations, class of 2027. That concludes our ceremony tonight. We invite all of you to a reception in the lobby. Students, if you'll please remain up front here for photos. Parents, families, take photos too as you go. Spend as much time as you need up here, as much photo ops as you need, and we'll be out here enjoying refreshments. Thank you and have a good night.